Jai Hind students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Students, there is nothing in this world that a resolute man can't do. Actually, do have faith in your own abilities and you can do everything, whatever you desire for. And to have faith is to have wings. So that's why add wings to your imagination and never ever hesitate to fly high. So you can do it.
With that positive note, students, let's begin today's session. Today we are going to discuss another mechanical energy which is known as potential energy. As we are aware, the effects of applying a force on an object are many. As we have discussed earlier, if the force changes the velocity of an object, then the work done in doing so is stored up in the object in the form of its kinetic energy, right? But in case the applied force does not change the velocity of the object, but instead changes its position or configuration, that is the shape, then the work done by the force gets stored up in the body in the form of its potential energy. So, today we are going to discuss potential energy. So basically students, the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position, by virtue of its height or configuration, that is known as potential energy. So potential energy is defined as the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position or height or configuration. So the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position or height or configuration is known as or is called its potential energy. This is how we can define potential energy. Now, remember, potential energy is also termed as configuration energy or mutual energy. So it is also known as configuration because it is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its configuration. Therefore, it is also known as configuration energy or mutual energy. Right? Okay. Now let us discuss the examples of bodies possessing potential energy. So there are various examples. First we'll discuss some basic example. Suppose a body is lifted from this position. This is the body in its initial position. It is lying on the ground, right? Now it is lifted through some height. Now this is its final position. So this is the initial position of the body. And let us consider this to be the final position of the body, right? Let us consider this to be the final position of the body. So, body is lifted through some height. Let this height be h. And suppose the mass of the body be m. So in this case, whatever amount of work is being done in lifting the object through height h will get stored in the body in the form of its potential energy, right? So basically, a lifted weight, this is an example of potential energy because it can do work where it falls down under the gravity, right? So this is a very basic example of potential energy. Second is the water stored in reservoirs. Water stored in reservoirs. The energy is stored in the case of a water which is stored in huge dams, that is in the form of potential energy. So this is another example. Water stored in reservoirs. So huge quantities of water is saved in it. And it is the potential energy of this water which generates electricity for us in hydroelectric power stations, right? There are some other examples as well. We can discuss the potential energy due to configuration as well. A coiled spring. A coiled spring, it possesses potential energy. Actually, a coiled spring in case of a watch, a toy or a gramophone. Now, when the coiled spring uncoils, it does work by rotating the hands of the watch, setting the toy in motion or rotating the gramophone disc. So these all are the examples of potential energy, right? Then another example is the compressed gas in a cylinder. Compressed gas in a cylinder. Now basically when the compressed gas changes its configuration, that is it expands, then definitely it does some work, right? So compressed gas in a cylinder is also the example of the system possessing potential energy, right? Then obviously a very common example is a stressed blow. Stressed bow. Now when the bow is released, it is able to shoot the arrow with large velocity. So basically here the potential energy getting converted into kinetic energy. So these all are the examples of the body having potential energy. So actually potential energy is of three types. One is the gravitational potential energy. A lifted weight or water stored in reservoir, that's example of gravitational potential energy. Then coiled spring, it is the case of elastic potential energy. Then due to charged particles also there is potential energy which is known as electrostatic potential energy. So students, basically there are three types of potential energies. One is the gravitational potential energy, example as I've discussed, it's lifted weight or water stored in reservoir. The other one is elastic potential energy, as I've stated, its example is coiled spring. And in higher class we will discuss the electrostatic potential energy that exists between the charged particles. In this session, students, we will be discussing the gravitational potential energy, that is the energy possessed by a lifted weight, right? Like when an object, as I've told you earlier, suppose it is initially placed on a floor, some work has to be done in lifting this object from position A to position B. That is, in order to raise its height through H, right? In this case, the work done in lifting the object through height H will get stored in the body in the form of its gravitational potential energy. And students, the potential energy is mathematically represented as let's represent potential energy by PE, potential energy. It is given by mgh. Now m is the mass of the body under consideration, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the height through which the body is raised or lifted. Here g is acceleration due to gravity. Whose value on the Earth's surface is 9.8 meter per second square, right? So this is the expression for the potential energy of a lifted weight. We'll discuss its mathematical derivation as well. So potential energy is directly proportional to mass, and it is also directly proportional to height. That is, the greater the height through which the body gets raised, the more will be the work required to be done and more will be the energy stored in the body, right? So let's study the graphical variation of potential energy with mass. for h to be constant. Suppose the height is constant. In that case, if we plot a graph between potential energy and mass, if the mass of a body is increased, then the potential energy will also increase linearly. Because if h is constant, then potential energy is directly proportional to the mass of the body. Larger the mass of the body, greater will be the potential energy stored in it when it is raised through a certain given height, right? So the graph between PE and M, it would be a straight line passing through the origin. Similarly, if M is constant, mass of a given body is constant only. So if M is constant, then potential energy is directly proportional to H. That is, if the height is made twice, then the potential energy will also become double. If the height is made thrice, then the potential energy of the body under consideration also become 3 times. So here also the potential energy is linearly dependent on the height. So it should also be a straight line passing through the origin. So the graph showing the variation of potential energy with height is also a straight line passing through the origin. Always remember, in case of linear dependency of two physical quantities, then the graph obtained would be a straight line passing through the origin as shown in the figure. Now let us derive an expression for the potential energy of an object at a height. As was discussed earlier, suppose we consider an object to be initially placed on a floor or a ground. This is the object under consideration. Let us consider this to be position A and the mass of the object is M. Now our objective is to raise this object through height h. The object is to be raised through height h. Suppose this is the final position. So the object is to be raised through height h. Let us assume the height from A to B is h. So we are going to derive an expression for the potential energy of a lifted body, right? So we know that every object on the surface of the earth is attracted by the earth, isn't it? And if it is having mass m, then its weight will act in the downward direction, that is along the radius towards the center of the earth. This is the weight of the body. So if an object has mass m, then it will experience a force that is called weight of the object, which acts vertically downwards along the radius towards the center of the earth. Now, for all practical purposes, if you assume that the value of this small g, which is acceleration due to gravity, remains constant near the surface of the earth, so therefore the weight of the body will also remain constant. Now in order to move this object upwards from A to B, say through distance h, we must apply a force which is to balance this weight, isn't it? So suppose this is the applied force. Let us consider this to be the applied force. This is the force which we are applying on the body so as to make the body move from point A to point B, right? So F is the applied force. So therefore, the magnitude of this force must be equal to mg, so that the body may be moved from A to B without any acceleration, right? So F is equal to mg. Now work done by this force F, work done by the force F in moving the body from A to B is given by Look, work done, as we are aware, it is given by the product of the magnitude of the force and the displacement of the body along the direction of the force applied. Now, displacement is also along this direction. The body is to be taken from A to B. So, its displacement H is also along this direction and F is also along this direction. So, the angle between these two is 0 degree. So, here work done is simply given by the product of the force and the displacement along the direction of the force applied, which in this case is H. So if you substitute the value of F over here, F is equal to mg. This is the force which needs to be applied. So mg, in place of F, write mg. So we get W equals to mgh. So basically, students, this amount of work done on the object which changes its position from A to B is known as gravitational potential energy. Right? So this work done does not go waste. Whatever work we are doing in lifting this object from A to B, it will get stored in the body in the form of its potential energy. And as I've told you, since we are doing work, right, and we are supposed to apply force F, which will balance this weight of the body, which is due to the acceleration or which is due to the gravitational force, right? Therefore, it is also known as gravitational potential energy. So students, again I repeat, the work done on the object which changes its position from A to B is called gravitational potential energy. So I'll write it down. This work done, which is equal to mgh on the body, which changes its position, in the considered case, it changes its position from A to B through height h, is called the gravitational potential energy, or simply you can say potential energy. Right? Therefore, this work done, as I've stated, it is equal to the potential energy. It gets stored in the body in the form of potential energy. Therefore, the expression for the potential energy of a body when it is raised through height h is mgh. So, this is the expression for the potential energy of a body. M is the mass of the body, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the height through which the body is raised. Clear, students? Now, one more thing. Suppose, students, this is the ground, and let us consider the body is over here at this particular position, which is at a height h1 from the ground. This is, suppose, position A. Its mass is considered to be m. Now this body is to be raised at this particular point. Suppose this is position B, and this new height from this reference line, it can be considered to be the reference line or ground. Suppose the new position of the body is at B, which is at a height h2 from the ground or from the reference line. Now in this case, students, the potential energy at point A, when the body is placed at point A, then it is at a height h1 from the ground. So the potential energy of the body at position A when it is at height h1 from the ground is mgh1. And similarly, the potential energy of the same body at point B when it is raised from A to B would be, now it is at height h2 from the ground or the reference line. Therefore, its potential energy at point B would be mgh2. This is the initial position, so initial potential energy would be mgh1, and this is the final potential energy at point B, which is mgh2. Therefore, work done in moving the body from A to B, in moving or raising the body from A to B is given by W is equal to change in the potential energy of the body, which is the final potential energy minus initial potential energy. So students, the work done in making the body to move from A to B, from height h1 to height h2 would be given by the change in the potential energy. Change is always final value minus initial value. So what is the final potential energy at point B? It is mgh2. And what is the initial potential energy at position A? That is mgh1. That is, work done is equal to change in potential energy. This is actually the statement of work energy theorem. In this case, the work done on the body do not change the speed of the body. Instead, it is changing the position of the body. So in this case, whatever amount of work is being done on the body, it will be numerically equal to the change in the potential energy of the body. So this is known as work energy theorem. So it is actually work energy theorem. This we have already discussed while doing the concept of kinetic energy. So in this case, the work done by the force in moving the body from A to B will be equal to the change in the potential energy, which will be equal to the final potential energy minus initial potential energy, and this is known as work energy theorem, right? Now, as we have stated, energy, its SI unit is joule. The CGS unit of energy is erg. So SI unit of energy is joule, represented by J, right? Same as that of the work, because work and energy, they are equivalent. CGS unit, CGS, as I've stated earlier, CGS is a system in which the distance is measured in centimeter. C stands for centimeter. The mass is measured in gram. G stands for gram. And S stands for second, which is used to measure time. So in the CGS system, the unit of energy is erg. This also we have discussed earlier. And the relationship between the SI and CGS unit of energy is, this is very, very important. This also we have mathematically verified. 1 joule is 10 raised to power 7 erg. This is the relationship between SI and the CGS unit of energy, right? So students, we have covered this topic of potential energy, right? Hope you have understood each and every concept related to it. So that's it for this particular session. So do join me in my next video, right? Till then, do take very good care of yourself and always be blessed, stay fit, and always keep smiling. Thank you.